Surprise! Guess who's here? It is Green Eye Sparkle, baby, for the Friday Smash Up. Oh, I was gonna come on earlier, but yeah, I paid a little surprise visit to my favorite girl. Mom knows best. Uh-huh. Yeah, I'm gonna shout you out, Mom knows best. Yep. Guess what, y'all? She cooked some black eyed peas. Now you know I always talk about she's on her special restriction now, but she didn't put any sodium in her black eyed peas. They were so good. She cooked them from scratch. She didn't use the cans where you get all that high sodium in them cans. No, Mom knows best. What she did was she let the beans sit in the water. You know how you let them sit in the water overnight, and then the beans start to get real fat, real plump. So when you drop them in that water, them beans be tasting so good. Oh, let me tell you, those black eyed peas were good, y'all. They certainly were. I decided to come on my sparklers and do my Friday smash up because I had no idea yesterday. I'm talking and I'm wondering why I didn't see anybody in the chat. You weren't in the chat because you couldn't see the show live. So I had to come on back on today, on this fantastic Friday, and hop on and just say hello and just do a little recap. Because it's so much fun and engaging when my sparklers have a chance to participate and my sparklers get in the chat. We have us a great time. Now, friendly reminder, if you are engaging in the chat, we are a respectful community. So as we get into the chat and we make comments and we provide feedback, remember, respect each other and respect my channel. Okay, sparklers, is that all right with y'all? All right, very good. Now, I want to kick off my Fantastic Friday Smash Up show today. I've got to give you guys a round of applause because I am so thankful that yesterday made my 25th episode. Hello there. Thank you for joining. And I was so happy to have each and every one of you on the show. Yeah, so my sparklers, I just want to share once again, I had my 25th episode yesterday, and I'm coming back on today for the Friday Smash Up, okay? Now, I want to get into some good trendy topics. And as I see the sparklers coming on in, you just come on in. This is a respectful community. We respect everybody in the chat. I have an open live chat. And so if you want to share, that's fine. As you come in, don't forget to like and subscribe. What you see behind me is my green thumb project that I'm working on. This is my garden box with my bell peppers, my green peppers, my yellow peppers, and my red peppers too. Now, this is day 100, I believe day 111. So, yeah, we're going to keep watching because I'm looking forward to seeing some beautiful bell peppers. Now, let's get into some of the recap from yesterday. And hello, hi. Yes, I love music. As a matter of fact, I'm going to get into that right now. As a matter of fact, from yesterday's recap, I talked about Beyonce's concert, Cowboy Carter, that was held in Atlanta. You know, she did 4 shows. And what I talked about, sparklers, was the fact that how and why would someone break into a vehicle that it was parked in the garage, and they smashed the back rear window, and they actually stole Beyonce's unreleased music, her stage planning, all of that was in the car. And so yesterday, which in my chat, and I apologize, I thought I was live and I was under private, so no one saw it yesterday. But let's get into the chat, my sparklers. Would you leave valuables such as unreleased jump drives of music in a car parked in a garage? Or would you take everything with you? I want to hear from you because I'm curious. Would you leave valuable things in a car? And I heard the 911 release tape. I heard the 911 tape, and the 911 tape, the person who was reporting the theft didn't sound like energy of concern. And as I listened to that, Sparklers, that bothered me. I actually kind of raised an antenna about, wait a minute. You're reporting a theft? Yes, thank you for saying you would bring it with you. Absolutely, you would. You would keep that on your person. That's valuable. So my understanding is, my Sparklers, is that the jump drive was in the vehicle. All the staging materials were in that vehicle. And so if you, and it's Beyonce of all people, I would not leave valuables, number one, in a car in a parking garage. And they said it was the smash and grab. So, I said this yesterday, and in my private listing was on, so I didn't have a chance to hear from my Sparklers. But I said this yesterday, my Sparklers. I said, there's a saying that if it doesn't belong to you, leave it alone. If you take something that doesn't belong to you, give it back. And I say this, give Beyonce's music back to her and all her staging. That did not belong to you. And I just think it was terrible that someone would do a smash and grab and steal these things out of a vehicle. That's just me, my Sparklers. And that's why I said I'm hopping on today to do my Friday Smash Up, because I wanted to hear from my Sparklers on these different topics of discussion. Now, in my inspiration segment yesterday, Sparklers, it was a treat. And like I said, boy, I was so surprised that I didn't have my live release for public viewing. So I've got to do the recap because I love hearing from my Sparklers. And by the way, don't forget to hit that like button as you come in, my Sparklers. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Yesterday on the inspiration area, I did a check-in because I talk about inspiration. I talk about trendy news. And, we get in the chat and we have great engaging conversations. I did a follow-up last night about fierce conversations and about things that we want to say, but we don't say them because we don't want to offend anybody. And what we do is, but we then also, it's a true fact to be known that we as humans, we want to hear the truth. For the most part, everybody, I think, wants to hear the truth, no matter how unpalatable that truth may be. And so I think it's important that when you engage in conversation and dialogue, that you truly, really say what's on your heart. The question that I said yesterday was, when was the last time that you said what you really thought and felt? When was the last time you said what you really thought and felt? Because as we engage in conversations, we all day, every day, we have conversations with someone. Whether it's a conversation on the phone, whether it's a conversation, in person, whether it's a conversation at work, we all engage in conversations at some point. So when was the last time that you were in front of someone or on the phone and you had something to say on your heart and you said it? Does that happen? Or do you hold back what you really want to say because you think you're going to offend or hurt somebody's feelings? That's a download right there for you, Sparklers. So if you want to chime in the chat, you're more than welcome to do so. Now, the other thing I talked about as I'm recapping yesterday, hi, Sparklers, come on in. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to Green Eye Sparkle Baby, the show, because we get into some great conversation over here. It's not just hearing all the juicy, trendy topics and news, but it's also friendly community conversations, everybody being respectful in the chat, so that way we have a community that we are all engaging and just having great conversations. I was listening to a quick little snippet of Will Packer. He was on a podcast. Mel Robbins, I believe, was the host of that particular podcast. And she actually engaged in conversation with Will Packer about, how does he streamline his energy to stay focused on his vision? I talk about vision every week on my show. And I like the things that he said because he also talked about that you have to be consistent and you have to be focused and willing to put in the work, to reach your goal. He wrote a book called The Art of, Healthy Arrogance. And if you believe in yourself and you have a vision, you go for it, and with going for it, sometimes that means you have to go into the lab. This is the part that I read this out of the book. He did the podcast. So I talk a little bit about the podcast and I talk a little bit about the book. But what he talked about is sometimes you have to move away from people and get into your quiet place so that you can get your thoughts down, so that you can get your energy flowing into the vision and goal that you have for yourselves. Now, sparklers, I have a question for you. Let's get into it. Do you have a place that's free from interruptions, free from noise, that you can sit down and you literally can write your thoughts down about what you see for yourself, your goal, your aspiration? I'm just curious. Do you have that location? And then if you do have that location, I say celebrate. That's awesome. If you don't have that location, have you ever considered just going in your closet? If there's a light in the closet, go into the closet, write your thoughts down. I do journaling every day. I talk about journaling every week on my show with the vision board, because when it comes to manifesting your dreams, when it comes to manifesting where you see yourself, when you write things down, it's like that endorsement of, hey, I have written down my goals and I have written down my vision, and these are the things I'm going to do to move this vehicle and be successful. Now, it takes consistency when you have a dream. It takes consistency when you have a vision. It takes consistency to put in the work so that you can then enjoy the fruits of your labor when you're working hard. Now, I also talked about yesterday that you see the posters in the back, the obedience poster in Absence of Love. The movie producer, Darion McGee, he is now making a new movie. He is looking for actors for his movie. There are auditions in Tampa, Florida tomorrow. Auditions take place at the University Mall. If you're an aspiring actor, actress, or you just say, hey, I want to, try something new. If you're in Florida, you can come on over and enjoy the opportunity to join in the audition for, it's called, oh, by the way, the movie is called I Suck at Dating. So I think it's going to be a fun time, my sparklers. It would be a fun time to come on out and audition. So if you have a little knack for acting, there will be auditions held Saturday. Hello, come on in, and thank you for coming in and joining us. And as I shared with my sparklers that are coming in, this is a respectful community. We engage in healthy conversations. Glad to have all my sparklers coming in. And don't forget, by the way, don't forget to hit the like button. As I was saying, moving on for this Friday Smash Up, we talked about Beyonce. We talked about that. The concert was amazing. I saw the footage from the Atlanta show. Oh my goodness. Lots of energy was brought on that stage. And I mean, is it just me? Or do you all think that Beyonce really gave her all in Atlanta? She did 4 shows. I say, wow, there is love for her in Atlanta. We just have to remember, to remind others, let's not do things that could impede the continuation and growth of anybody, whether they're an artist, whether they're a teacher, whether they're a police officer, it doesn't matter. We don't do things to intentionally, take away from that growth. I think that, Blue Ivy is growing. She's growing and she's becoming Beyonce. It's almost like a Beyonce Junior. But shout out. I know my nieces were at the Beyonce concert in Atlanta. I heard it was a great time. And so I just say for Beyonce, that's a hardworking woman. And to my point about the inspirational download that I talked about yesterday, was that when you have aspirations and dreams, you don't let people get in your ear to try to steer you away from your dream. Have you ever experienced something that you really wanted to do, my sparklers, and you shared it with someone and they tried to steal your joy? Has that happened to you before, my sparklers? Because, sometimes people, they're not happy for your success and dreams because they're afraid to step out themselves. Oh, that was a download right there in itself. They don't want to inspire you because they're afraid to jump on in and dare to dream themselves. So then what they do is they try to squash your feelings, to hurt your feelings about your dream. But don't let that happen. If you have a dream and you have set up the plan, you have set the action plan in place, and you are a visionary, you have your vision board, you see your dreams clearly, start taking a journal and start writing down your thoughts and the things you're going to do to get yourself to that dream. You're going to write down those affirmations and affirm what is it that is going to keep you on the right trajectory to reach your dream. I know in my journal, I talk about this because I'm a believer in this. I say, I am somebody. I am a winner. I have what it takes to conquer anything. There never has been, there never will be another person like me. I say that because I am affirming that, hey, I believe in me and I will conquer and get to that ultimate goal. I believe truly that when you affirm with yourself, you don't have to worry about the noise that's in your ear, because people are getting your ear. And what they do is they get in your ear to cause a distraction. And then all of a sudden you just give up on your dreams. I come to say this, sparklers, don't give up on your dreams. I know a lot of us have dreams and we have goals. And sometimes we either let a friend, we let a family member get in the way of us achieving our goals. Affirm your work. Affirm the work by writing down what your dreams are. Affirm in that journal where you see yourself. How are you going to get there? And then the I am statement. You heard what I said earlier? I am somebody. I am a winner. I am going to be the next, big lead character in the movie. I am going to be the next big corporate officer in my corporation. Whatever the case may be, my sparklers, when you do I am statements, that solidifies that belief system that you've got this. You've got this. Who better than you? If not you, then who? So I just say, I encourage sparklers, if you don't do journaling every day, if you can't do it every day, start at least with remembering at least once a week, twice a week, to write down what you see yourself doing. Like I said, I have special days. Today is Fantastic Friday. Tomorrow is Sensational Saturday. I do a journal entry every day to get my day started because I believe in myself. And I believe that when I write down where I want to be and where I see myself, I know it's coming to fruition. It's that thought process and belief. What comes to my mind, sparklers, is Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders has a belief system out of this universe. It was really neat to see that his three boys, they had a little friendly competition yesterday where they were sponsored by Kentucky Fried Chicken. They call it KFC now. And all three boys, they went to a KFC restaurant. They gave away free, Free, the what do they call them? The 3-piece filler-upper or 2-piece filler-upper that comes in the box. And the first 250 people there, they got a free box. And then they wanted to see who was going to, give away the fastest. And I thought that was really a good, healthy, friendly competition among the brothers. So you have Shador. He's in Tampa. No, Shador is in Cleveland. I know my sparkler's going to come in the chat and say, you got it wrong. No, I apologize. We have Shiloh in Tampa. We have Shador in Cleveland, and his son, Deion Sanders Jr., he's in Texas. And so I brought up Deion Sanders because, he always on social media has nothing but positivity in his messaging. No matter how people come at Deion Sanders, he still stays consistent on his belief system. He stays consistent on knowing that the journey that he's on is not for anybody but himself. And what he has done is, I love that how he has empowered his boys to have that same affirmation and feeling. You don't have to give back what's given to you. When you have negative energy coming at you, sparklers, you don't always have to throw that energy. You hear what you if they're giving it to you, you catch it and move it out your way. Because what you don't want is negative energy to fester in your positive space. And so I just, want to just share my recap from yesterday, my sparklers. It's not the whole thing, but it was just a little recap of my yesterday show, seeing that I thought I was live yesterday, and it turns out that I didn't even have the button clicked to be public, so my sparklers didn't have a chance to participate. Sparklers, if you have anything to add in the chat, you're welcome to do so, because today is my Friday Smash Up show, where I let my sparklers, positivity, of course, and being respectful to the community. If there's anything that you wanted to add on about that I talked about this evening, I talked about my beautiful bell pepper plants, of course. We talked about, this is a recap, we talked about Beyonce and her Cowboy Carter tour in Atlanta, 4 shows. That's amazing. We talked about this inspiration and spiritual downloads and conversations. Conversations, that's a two-way street. You can't have a conversation if there's no one else there a part of the conversation. And conversations, whether it's business, whether the conversation is personal, when you're at home, we can peel back the onion to find the root of the cause. If we listen to what the person is saying before we are ready to prepare a rebuttal, if we listen, hear that download, and break down and identify that problem, oh, what a happy day for everyone. Because see, one thing about it is, in order to understand and get to a root of a problem, you have to identify what the problem is. You then have to, decipher and kind of weed through the weeds to find out what is it that triggered the anger in a conversation. Fierce conversations are simply meaning that you address what the issue is at hand. I talked a lot last week about, sometimes when someone is faced with having a conversation, they don't want to deal with telling that person how they truly feel, because they feel like, one, it might it might hurt their feelings, or it might explode the conversation even more. But as I shared a few minutes ago, people want to hear the truth no matter how unpalatable it is. It might be a relationship, anybody in a relationship, and you don't like the way the relationship is going, and you want to tell this person about this relationship, but you say you didn't want to say anything to the person because you didn't want to hurt their feelings. I think they would rather know the truth than you sit there in a relationship with them and it's not working. So I said all of that to say, think about when you're having a conversation, that the conversation is meaningful, that it's really valuable to you and the person that you're engaging in the conversation with. All right, my sparklers. This was my Friday Smash Up. I really was gonna, be on very long, but I saw that, my sparklers were coming in, and we've had a great time. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. I will be back on next week. Who knows? Before next Thursday, I might come on and do another live again. Is that all right with y'all? Because I enjoy engaging in conversations with my sparklers community. And as I shared, if you're in the Tampa Bay area, we are hosting auditions for a new movie called I Suck at Dating. Can't wait to see what that's going to be all about. As I have been reading the script, looking at all the characters to see that come together, I know it will be absolutely amazing. This is Green Eye Sparkle, baby, the show. I am signing off. Have a great weekend. Do something fun and pass on the good energy. I'll talk to you all later. Bye.